The angle of this might look a little weird because I got a new desk, so I believe it's a little bit lower than my previous one because my head's kind of cut off at the top there. I don't know if I had the new desk in the previous video though, but hello. I'm on Thanksgiving break right now, so I should have no excuse to get a video out. So today what I'm going to be showing you is some cool the promised fourth wall breaking effects for your EXE game and how to do them. Just know I might have not covered every single fourth wall break effect that has been done for EXE games before. One I can name right now is showing, like, adding notepads and having up notepad messages. That, if you came here just for that, then I'll save you some time and I'll tell you that this does not show how to do that because I, as of now, do not know how to do that. But every other effect, like window shake, let me save people some time and list what I'm going to show right now. I'll start off with the simple stuff by showing how to do, like, changing the wallpaper, changing the name of the window, or changing the name of the game, I should say. Doing the dialog box, but if you want to do the dialog box, I will say that you have to have the developer version of Clickteam Fusion because the dialog box extension is not available in the normal version, even the 2.5 plus version. You have to have developer version for the dialog box. I'll also go over window shake because I know that's a really popular one. Window transparency, showing your name, showing the name of the user, the computer name, like what the original Sonic.exe game does when it asks ready for round 2. There are also some other things I show that I don't actually demonstrate due to recording reasons, because I could lose the recording if I did, like shutting off the computer, because you can actually do that. I do show how to do that. I don't recommend you do it for your EXE game, but if you are really confident about that and really want to do that, I do show how to do that. I just don't demonstrate it because it's almost like a one-time thing. I know a lot of people have been asking for a hide and seek or just a Sonic.exe chase tutorial. I just want to get this one out of the way just because it's a shorter tutorial. This isn't really part 4 to the series because this can be done for any part of an EXE game, but I will get to part 4 of that series. I'll try this week, hopefully, and I'll try to make this tutorial quicker just because the previous ones have been a long time. Yeah, that should be it. So, on to the tutorial. We're going to start off simple with changing the name of the application. So this name up here, change that, make some creepy message.
It'll be watching. What?
And it's actually simple to do this because the object we need for this is actually already included in the Not So Simple Sonic Worlds if you're doing a Not So Simple Sonic Worlds type of game. It's the window control object here. Most of the, actually really, any Not So Simple Sonic Worlds engine version should have this somewhere, like in here. It's right here, so it should already have it, so you should already have it if you were able to open it, but you can look it up here. It's right here, window control. There's also these other stuff here which help with fourth wall breaking effects, but we'll get to that later. You can, I believe you can go to the manager here. Window control object. You should already have it. I believe it is a default extension that all Clickteam users have. I mean, if you are able to open Not So Simple Sonic Worlds with no issues, then you clearly already have the object. So the simplest thing to do is, I was doing this before a little bit, on a start a frame event here, which we just do by going here. Not there, I might start, and start a frame right there. Sorry, it's early. And then on window control here, simply set title and then change the title to whatever you want. So like just something like hello, welcome back, I guess. Please run the frame and boom, easy, done. This is probably the simplest fourth wall break effect you can do, and this condition can be anything you want when a button's pressed, when the timer equals something. So say we want to replace that with timer is equal to like 3 seconds. Run the frame. Starts off as that at first, but if we wait a little bit, then it changes to that. So this is the simplest thing you can do, honestly. The simplest fourth wall break effect. And that is really that for changing the window name. Next, I'm going to go over changing wallpapers. So that would be changing the wallpaper, like the background that it shows right here. You can change this. You might have seen it in some EXE games before. I've even played a few where it's changed the wallpaper and I have to change it back. For that, we need this extension called the Big Box. So you can just search it up. It should be right there. You can just add it right there. If you don't have it, go to Manager, search the Big Box, and then it should be right there. Check, even if you already have it, check to make sure it's up to date, because before recording this, I actually checked and it was outdated. So just make sure it's up to date, reinstall it. If it's installed and up to date, then you'll be good. Just install it. If you don't have it, then add it in there and we'll get right to it. So with this object, we can actually do quite a bit with it, but first off, I'm just going to show changing the wallpaper. So we should probably do when, and we'll do for example, we'll do when a button's clicked. So we'll just have an active and we'll say when the mouse clicks on object, the active, and then we'll have it do stuff. So you can see there's lots of options here for display. We can do like change screen resolution, color depth, refresh rate, windows, change wallpaper. That would change the wallpaper there, but there's other stuff like screensaver, there's mouse and keyboard. Oh, we can open a file or a website, but there's already ways to do that through normal Fusion. System here is like the most powerful stuff you can do. You can kill a process. Yes, you can shut down the computer. I have tried this before, and it does actually shut down your computer. I would not recommend using this just because YouTubers recording or playing your game do not usually like it when the game can shut down the computer, because then they can lose the recording and then there goes all that work. Even for Luigi Kid's EXE challenge, one of his rules is make sure the program cannot shut down the computer. So I wouldn't recommend using that, but it does work. I've tried it. It really does shut down the computer. The rest of these I have not tried before, but because this worked, I assume the rest of them do work. But you can try those all you want. But you can all you simply do is do that, and then when you click on that object, it will shut down the computer. But I'm obviously not going to show that. So for the wallpaper here, we just go Windows, change wallpaper, and then you just pick whatever image you want. Any image that you may have that you want to change it to. Just know though that you're gonna have to include this image with the download. So whatever image that you pick, you're gonna have to include it in the download there. So if anyone knows how Fusion works, then that does kind of spoil it for them. But you'll just have to include it in there, because if you don't, then it won't be able to find that image, because what are the chances that the computer, that the user playing the game has that image on there. So we can just pick whatever. I would recommend picking a PNG. Just pick any image you have prepared. Here it is, this that one shot from the Sonic OVA movie of him. Shut up, Tails. So it does show where the location is there, so you will have to kind of keep it in one location, and that does mean that the person who downloads the game, if they move the image or delete the image, it does break the game. But see, that's their problem. That's not like your problem to worry about. Your game's still good as long as they don't mess with the files. So I will show you what they'll do. So we'll run this, I'll close that. So you can see my background right now is a Sonic Frontiers painting that's done really well. If I click this active object here, so you can see it just changed the wallpaper to the image I picked, which was that one shot from the Sonic OVA movie. Now you may be wondering, how do I change this back? How do I get this back to the original? Just gonna close that. It's simple, just simply how you would change any background. Go into your settings, go to, well, I don't know how it is. This is for Windows 11. Go to personalization, background, and then you can see this image was for testing around, and then this image that was Sonic.exe Project X that had a fourth wall break effect that changed it. So you just simply change that back. I believe for Windows 10 you have to manually go find it again. So next off, I'll show off changing the mouse position if you want to keep the user's mouse stuck in one kind of place to really show that your EXE is like really breaking the boundaries of the limits of the game and like taking control of the computer. Some people can get worried that it's an actual virus, so be careful. So we'll just say again, on that object click, mouse/keyboard, set mouse, not that. you can set mouse position. You gotta put in, so the X value, I'll just do like 222, and then like 333 for Y position, I guess. And then from there, we run this, we click that, and the mouse will go to that position. But this does mean that you can simply change this to be always. And yes, that means the mouse is stuck. It's like I can kind of move it. It's like I can kind of move the mouse, but it goes back to that position. It's stuck. It's a really cool fourth wall break effect to kind of show that you've really taken control. Maybe don't have this stuck here forever, because that's just a little mean, because now I like can't go over and close it. If you get stuck like this, just do Alt F4, and then you'll have full control again. But that's a cool fourth wall break effect right there, just to kind of make it really seem like the EXE is taking control and has more power than you think.
Got me interested. What's this green bro?
Next, I'm going to be going over some effects, some more effects you can do with the window control here. Now, I know a lot of people probably want to see the window shaking effect, which I've seen in lots of EXE games now, since lots of people have figured out how to do it. I will show off how to do that later on, as that's a bit more of an advanced type of thing, but I'm just going to go over the easy stuff right now. So we already did set title, but there's also like position stuff here. You can bring window to top, back, always on top, attach to desktop, immediate move. So here's what I'd say. If you want to do position, I would not use this set position thing. I would do set X coordinate and do like say 111, I guess, and then do Y coordinate and do like 444, I guess. And like it can be any event just like you want again. So we'll say when we click on that object there. So we run this, when we click here, see the window moves. Now obviously it's not going to move again because it's set in that spot there. Something cool we can do is a random effect, where go to Xcord, go to random, base number, believe you can just do like 400, and it does anything in between that. So yeah, we're pressing this, it'll go to a random position. And if you know how to make an object shake in Fusion, you might be able to figure out how to do it, but I'll show that off later in this video. I'm just gonna go over the simple stuff right now. So that's window positioning right there. Now I'm going to move on to window transparency, to where you can have cool transparent effects like this clip you see right here of One Last Round's intro. So what we're going to need is a window transparency object, which is right here, and I believe is a default thing with Fusion. I'm not 100% sure about that, so let me just see. It is right here. You can install it from the manager if it's not there. I think it might be a default extension, but I'm not sure. So just check here if you have it. Make sure it's not outdated like all of these up here. And should have it. I already have it, but just check if you have it. If not, then just get it. Alright, so now we have this object right here. So basically what this does is it picks a color in the frame and it turns that color transparent. So it's kind of like a green screen effect. So here, right here, alpha color, we just pick the color we want it. So it can be any color. Set to white at default, and we have white right here. So off the bat, we can actually run this, and you can see, you actually can't even really grab the window now. But see, it's transparent because we can still see the back there, but it's open and the object is still right there, and we could still click that and do stuff. Oh, now I can grab it. So see, we can move this around and it's like transparent everywhere. It's a really cool effect. You can add some actually, I'll show you. When I was experimenting around with this, I made this like warning thing with a white background, window transparency, and I created this cool effect. It's a bit laggy, but it works. But see, it's something like the One Last Round intro. These sprites are made by me, by the way. They are old sprites. They're really bad. So please don't praise me for them. But so you can basically just put two Sonics, I guess, if you want at the side there. Put a warning that I had done and make it go up and down. And then you just have a white background. So yeah, that's how Mr. Pixel did that. It does that effect with the intro. But I believe now we get into the more advanced stuff. I was wrong. There is one more simple thing you can do, but it can only be done in Clickteam Fusion Developer 2.5 because the extension we need for it is not available for normal Clickteam Fusion. I can show you if I go to Manager, it is the dialog box. And it's right here as you can see, but it's extensions that are available for the developer version only. So you're gonna need the developer version if you want to do this effect here, but I'll still show you how to do it. So on here, we can search dialog box because I already have it. You can go to here, add this in, and you can pretty much create your own like pop-up message. You can make it whatever size you want. You can add text boxes, an edit box, a button, group, button, static box, say we add like static text. Change this text to like, well, do you want to play with me? We can have it all be whatever. It has to have a control name as well, just so if you want to add code with the text box, whenever it asks for a control name, this would be the name you put in. You can add any custom name you want. Okay, you might have to make it bigger so the text fits. But you could add like a button. Change this button to say like, okay. Do that. And then we can do like, let's say timer equal to 2. We want to go here. There's lots of stuff we can do. Set a checkbox, progress bar list, edit box. But we go under dialog box, and we just do open. And then on the dialog box, under button, clicked, and you're gonna have to do the control name of the button. I believe to default it sets it to like BTN1. I think. Let me check. Yes, it does. And you can change the name to whatever you want, but BTN1 with a capital B, that's what it sets it to. So that is what you would have to put in. So yep, that's what you'd have to put in. But say when button is clicked, then we can do like, well, you can do anything you want. You can set the title. This would be the title of the dialog box, not the title of the window. We can do close though, so say we run this, wait 2 seconds, then this dialog box pops up, hello, do you want to play with me? Click OK, it closes. There's more editing. You can do lots of stuff with this. You can add all sorts of stuff to this. You can test it here, open it up. And changing the name, you can't, I don't think you can do it through here, so what you have to do is just like start of frame, do set title, and I don't know, do whatever you want, try to be original. Wait 2 seconds, and hello, do you want to play with me? And this icon right here, this will just change to whatever the icon of your application is. So right now it's just the default, so that's what it is. But when this is run and like your application has a different icon, its own custom icon, that's what the icon will be there. So that's really the only way you could change that icon right there. I believe that's it for a dialog box. That's the only thing that can only be done in Fusion Developer 2.5. Everything else here can be done in the normal version. Alright, now time to go over the thing that everyone's probably here for. Window shaking effect. So this one is a bit more of an advanced part, so just be prepared to have your brain a bit melted. We are still going to use the window control object for this. And for anyone who is like familiar with how Fusion works, if you've made an object like shake before, like had amp on an object and turned up amp and down, we're basically doing the same thing as that and just applying it to the window control object. So that way that shake applies, it's for an object, but then that object syncs with the window. So that's just for anyone who knows how Fusion works. If you don't, then I'll show you what to do. We just want a normal active. We're going to name this active to center object. You don't have to, but it's just better for recognition. For alterable values, we'll have 1, which is center X. It doesn't really matter what you name it, but it just helps us better recognize it. Center Y. And then we want a third one that is just called amp. And all of these we want them to just be set to 0. So the position of this object does kind of matter, but we'll have to play with it and adjust it, but it would be around here is where the object would have to be. We're gonna have to mess around with it and check it and make sure it's good. So hold on, I'm just gonna have the old code in front of me here because I kind of gotta reteach myself how to do this. So at the start of the frame here, what we want to do, find the center object and set the values, set the values center X to, hold on, this is the right, yeah, okay, maybe, okay, hold up, maybe, so just X of the center, okay, maybe, just so this doesn't get confused with other active objects, maybe just go in here and like get the paint bucket, pick any color you want, put that in the middle, kind of a color indication for the objects. Okay, I can't really see it that good, but oh well. So set enter X to the X of that, and then same thing with the Y. Set center Y to the Y position, or Y coordinate of the center object. Then, okay, a lot of math is about to be done. This is like the most confusing part here. So we want to have a always condition, and under the window transparency, or not window transparency, I'm sorry, the window control object, under position, set X coordinate, and we're about to do a lot of math here. So we want to start with so this is for the X coordinate, so we want to get the value of center X, so the center object, center X, we want to do plus sin. I'm just like looking off to the side as I'm typing this random. I want to do, I believe this number you can mess around with it, but I'm just gonna put what's in here. 628. We want to do, where is it, times the amp of the center object, so center X, the amp value of the center object here. So a lot of math is going on here, and what exactly is going on, I will be honest, I have absolutely no idea, but I should say credit to Almighty Zentaco because he helped me figure this out. I used his shaking object tutorial and just applied that knowledge to this here and was able to get it to work. So I can't promise it's the exact way that some of EXE game creators out there used for their games, but it works about the same, so I assume it's around the same thing. So for the Y coordinate, basically the same thing, except we do center Y. Let me make sure it's not any different. I don't believe it's any different. It is a little bit different, so center Y of center object plus, now we do cos random 620, not I mean, I'm not sure, I'll figure out what that number is for, times, and then the same thing, the amp again of the object here. So now we have that. So what this basically does is just set up the object here. So now it's set up, so now the window is kind of synced with this object, so whatever the object does, the window will kind of do as well. I would recommend putting this in a group, and I'll explain why. So this window shake, want to do always, and under the center object, set alterable values. We want to set the amp to however much strength we want. So this number will vary, and the higher the number, the stronger shake the window will have. So I'll show you what 10 looks like real quick. So this is just gonna go right off the bat. You can kind of see it's like a little shaky. It's not super strong. It's just a little shaky, but it does shake, and you can like click the X there to try to close it, but if it shakes so much you can't even close it, just do Alt F4. or go to task manager and end the process. Why I say do this in a group is because it's an always event, so you can't, unless you add something like when a value is equal to this and always, then you can try that. But what I'd recommend is like do deactivate a group of events at the start. Say for example, timer event objects is usually what we want to do. Is say after 3 seconds, then we activate it. And what I'd actually recommend doing is it greater? If you're gonna use a timer, do like is it greater than 3? Because if the timer goes so fast that it misses the 3 seconds, it could possibly miss the event and then not do anything. So we run this, it's normal, but after 3 seconds, it will start to shake up. And you can see this is already a little bit strong and it's only at 10. And yeah, we can change this value to whatever we want. And yes, that means we can go as high as 500, and you can see how powerful this is about to shake. As you can see, it is going haywire, and there's no way I will be able to click the X to close this, so just do Alt F4. So yeah, that can go everywhere, all you want, and I'm gonna change the window transparency just so you can see it better. So now there's no more transparency. You can see it shakes so much it's actually hurting my eyes, so I'm gonna stop that. And now if you want to stop the window shake, you simply just need to set the amp to 0. So that can be like after say 5 seconds. So say it shakes for about 2 seconds, but then after 5 seconds we set amp to 0, and that will stop the shake. And obviously you can set it to whatever value you want. If you want it to go haywire for a bit, and then like calm down a bit, you can do that. But you can see I can simply stop it right there. And you may notice in like games like EYX, it only moves side to side on the X. Simple way to do that is just on here, don't set the Y. If you want to only do the Y, don't set the X. And that would be simply how you do that. So those, I'm trying to, give me a second. I'm going to check if there's any more fourth wall break effects I'm missing. That I know how to do. I know there is some I won't be able to cover because I am still unsure about how to do them. But let me check real quick.
What?
Okay, so I just ended the previous recording I did only to realize I forgot another effect that I do know how to do that you can do that I see in EXE games. So to do, and another object that probably has lots of effects we can do. So we're gonna need an object called the Yasso, and Yasso stands for yet another system object. I do not think this is a default file, but you can it is here, so you can install it. I don't think it's default, so you will probably have to just install it. But basically the effect that I'm going to show you is how to display the computer user's name. So this is actually used in the original Sonic.exe game by MYT Crimson. Sorry if I say the name incorrectly, I barely ever remember it. Say we want to, let's say for example, let's do, is the timer, I'm gonna do greater. Is the timer greater than, we'll do 6 seconds, so kind of after this goes on. We'll do under window, set title. This can be for any text, just so you know. Any text box, any string, anything that has a text, any dialog box, anything you want. So in here, so you first put in whatever kind of message you want. So for me, let's say did I scare you? And then from there, what we want to do is a plus. And okay, I'd recommend put a space in here just so that way it doesn't combine the words and the name together. So from there we want to do current user, put $, and then in not quotation marks, do parentheses, put a space there, and inside here, we put in the name of the Yasso object. So by default, that is just Yasso object. But if you change the name of the Yasso object, then put in whatever name that is. And then, I mean, if you want to have another message after it, like put in, say some stuff, say the name, and then say some stuff afterwards, you simply just do plus and put in parentheses and then like type in whatever thing you want him to say afterwards. But I just want that. So then to start here, so the title is normal. We wait a little bit. The window shakes like crazy. Did I scare you? And then my current username is subtoomgy just because that's my old username and I never changed it. But this will be whatever name the user has. This is used in the original Sonic.exe game when he says, "Are you ready for round 2?" But the original Sonic.exe is made in GameMaker, I believe, so I'm not sure how it works in GameMaker, but this is how you do it in Clickteam. So that is the last fourth wall break effect. I believe that is every fourth wall break effect. You can look in here and try out these other features, but there's not too much you can do. Big box and window control are the ones that really give you those. Okay, that should be every fourth wall break effect. So if it is, I will see you all next time, and